Happy Thursday. Oh, it's 111, so this is a good sign. If you are watching a replay, go ahead and put hashtag replay. Today, I just want to come in really briefly and talk about preparing for the end of the academic year. Y'all, we are just days away from the end, depending on your calendar. And I am curious, number one, how are you doing? So if you're here with me in real time, how are you doing as we come to the end of this academic year? I know, folks, you still will be doing things in the summer, but there's something about this time of year, closing it out, and us having a chance to reflect. So I just want to invite you to reflect right now. How are you doing? But first, tell me, how you doing? How are you doing today? How is life going? I mean, I know the world is still a dumpster fire, but I hope that you are doing well. I just have 3 tips. 3 is my favorite number. The number one thing that I hope that you all are doing is evaluating just life, how you showed up. Evaluating how you are as a student. Now, I'm going on a slight rant here. When I say evaluate, in no way do I mean let's list out all the shit that you didn't do or all the ways that you messed up in your mind and shit on yourself. That's not what I'm asking you to do. Really, when I'm saying evaluate, the first thing I would love for you to do is name all your wins. No win is too small, okay? Name everything, like writing it out on a sheet of paper. There's something really powerful about seeing, look, this is all the things that I've done, all the ways that I've shown up for myself and for my future. Because often we get caught up in, well, I'm not at the end, so I can't celebrate. But anything in life is about the process. It is not about the end point. So how are all the ways that you showed up for yourself and you were out in these streets winning? A mess. I was told to write my literature review in a month. How did that go, Julian? Listen, it is possible, but how did it go for you? So yeah, and the first thing in evaluating is, if you didn't do it in a month, Julian, what did you do? How did you show up? Because those are worth celebrating and noting that you did that. So what are you celebrating? Number 2, what strategies worked well for you this year in terms of what were the things or the people or the systems or whatever helped you to show up and do what you said you were going to do? So did you find out that while you used to be a morning person, this season in your life is you're a night owl, like you can't start writing until 11 p.m.? Or did you find out that you need to write with other people, whether that is in person or on Zoom, and that's a great way for you to write? Did you find out that you have to do things in 20-minute spurts instead of like long 3-hour sections, or maybe longer? Maybe you only have one day and you work 4 or 5 hours and that's all you have for the week. Like, what are those strategies that worked well for you to do what you said you were going to do? I know for me, I have doubled down on meeting with people on Zoom to write. Today, we have a standing Thursday morning writing group. I use that time today in particular to answer emails, because that is the thing that I struggle with. Like, I don't want to do it. I'm not motivated. I don't understand people who like to answer emails. And so I use that time because I can see other people on a Zoom call, and I know that we meet for 2 hours. I use that as accountability to show up and answer those emails, and I got them all done. And so now I'm free to go do the things that I'm more interested in doing. So what worked for you? What are those strategies? Because often we focus on what doesn't work, but we don't really give enough attention to what is working. There are some things that you are doing, and I really want you to look at this and not judge it like, oh, I shouldn't be doing it this way. Well, so-and-so doesn't do it that way, or this is not the right way. Ain't no right way. We made all this shit up. It's not real. So what works for you to get you to do what you said you would do? And then finally, after you say your wins and what worked for you, then you want to take stock of, okay, what are the things that I didn't get to, and what are the strategies that are not working for me? And this is not, again, we're not doing this to say like, oh, you're lazy, you need to get it together. Absolutely not. That is an indicator of, okay, I need to figure out a different way to approach this. Like, maybe the way I was just trying to do these things don't work for me. Maybe I tried to do too much, and now I learned that maybe we take a fraction of that and not all of it, right? Like, what can those things teach you about that you didn't get to, or it wasn't working for you? And maybe it's people. Maybe y'all got to have some honest conversations about the people you are surrounding yourself with. And maybe those are the people who are draining your energy, draining your motivation, when every time you go around them, you feel like shit. Like maybe you need to love them from a distance. Okay, maybe you need to cut them out. So let me see. I haven't started yet, but I did present in my chair. Oh, that's amazing. Congratulations. You presented at your first conference. Listen, if you could do that, you could write a literature review. And Paula, I think you're still on here. Dr. Mays is on here. Didn't you write your literature review in like a weekend? Like, of course you had to go back and do some things and change some things around, but she had a draft. And so I'm just saying that, Julian, for you to know that it is possible that you can do it. No, your chair is not asking for you to write a masterpiece in 1 month. They're looking for a draft, a very shitty draft that you can work with, that you can edit, that you can go back and forth on. The only goal is to like put the words on a page and know that like you can always go and edit it. Okay, a week. Thank you, Paula. So first, preparing for the end of this year is evaluating. Number 2, I want you to meet with your advisor, or in your case, Paula, your supervisor maybe, meet with your advisor and just say, hey, I just want to check in before this year is a wrap. I just want to understand if there are any expectations you have of me over the summer and anything that you would hope for me to prepare for the fall semester. You want to get an idea of if they're taking any time off. You want to know if they are, particularly if they're on contract. What that means, not every faculty is on a contract for 12 months. A lot of faculty are on a 9-month contract. So when it comes to summer, technically they don't have to work. That means they don't have to answer your emails. They don't have to help you with anything related to anything. Doesn't matter if you are trying to finish a proposal or take your comp exams or whatever. If they're not on contract, technically they don't have to work with you because they're not getting paid for it. And so you just want to know if that's going to impact you, like them being on contract or them having any vacation days or any sabbaticals. Like you want to make sure that you're aware of that information so you can prepare for the summer. And just, if you're comfortable, asking them if they have just any general feedback for you, since they have some knowledge about you and that could be helpful. But if that's going to trigger you, don't do that. Don't do it. We are actually getting ready to do a 360 review, so this is perfect. Oh, that's amazing. I love a good 360 review. I feel like people don't use them enough. And I get it, because people at the top sometimes don't want to know honest feedback. They feel like they can't trust it. But that's a whole different conversation. But yes, Paula, I'm going to encourage you to have the energy of Beyonce, okay? Because let me tell you, a quick random astrology moment. Today, so the moon has different phases, right? And today marks like a first quarter moon in Leo. First quarter moons are a time of action. Like this week and the next week, you might find yourself just doing a lot. And because Leo is like the sun, it's like, bitch, I'm here. You should be grateful. Leos are very much like, they just radiate. Like they just tell it like it is. Like they just win all the time. So I just want you to have that energy, Paula. And when you do your evaluation, I said all I had to say is that when you do your evaluation, brag on yourself, even if it feels uncomfortable. I just want you to start with all the shit that you have done, that you do well, and why they should be just grateful and kissing the ground you walk on because you work there. And I know that's going to be a little bit strange. You're going to be like, but we're not doing that. We're going to have the energy of Leo and Beyonce, and we're going to do that evaluation. Talk all the shit. Like, think about like you are a rapper. That's what I think to myself. I'm like, I'm a rapper. I'm writing a song. I'm putting all the wins. You took this week off. Come on. Yes. First quarter moon, you will be busy because, again, astrology, we are preparing for, essentially like this first quarter moon is you preparing for the full moon, right? So we're going to have a full moon, which is also an eclipse, and it's going to be in Scorpio. And so we are preparing to release a lot of old patterns, a lot of old ways of thinking, a lot of relationships that don't do nothing for us. This is about transforming into a new identity of being absolutely that bitch. So, yes, you might be real busy, Paula, but just know that the astrology is behind you. Okay, please. See, I be getting distracted, y'all. I love it. I've been saying astrology is like a second PhD because low-key, between all these books and math and histories and theories, it feels like one. Okay, and I don't say that lightly. Y'all, it's a lot. There's a lot of people out here who say they do astrology. They making it up. I'm telling you, it goes deep. Okay, so preparing for the end of the year, number one, you want to, what did I say? I have my notes. Number one, you want to evaluate how you showed up. Number two, you want to meet with your advisor. And then number three, take a break. Y'all need to take a break. Take a break. I know some of you are like, but I just want to make this summer count. I just want to make up for all the writing I didn't do for the year. I want to write it all in the summer. But what you're not taking into account is you're going to be outside. You're going to be outside. You're going to want to go outside. There's going to be things to do, festivals, events, family cookouts, birthday parties. You just might want to lay on your couch and watch TV. The summer is only but 8 to 10 weeks? That's not a lot of time. And I get that it seems very tempting to say, oh, I'm going to do all this writing because I'll have interrupted time. But you're not accounting for, like I said, the things you want to do outside your house or on your couch. But you're also not accounting for, you're tired. You just did a whole academic year. There's a lot of shit that happened in this year. Your body, your brain, your nervous system needs a time to recalibrate. You need to take a break. At least take a week of a break, y'all. Like, I'm not asking you to take the whole summer. But you will go further, faster if you allow yourself to break. So I'm happy to talk more about that. But if folks have questions, let me know. And Julian, I just want to just send you all the good juju with your literature review. And what would happen if you, I'll leave it this, like, what would happen if you took just a few hours, like 3 to 4 hours, and said, wherever I'm at the end of this 4 hours is where I'm at. I'm just going to write words on the page. I'm not going to read anything. I'm not going to question whenever my brain wants to say that doesn't make sense or this is wrong. I'm going to be like, thank you, brain. And we're just going to keep writing. And when I say write, I mean literally any thought that comes into your mind, you write down on the page. Like you type it. This is dumb. You type, this is dumb. I don't know what to say. You type, I don't know what to say. Because eventually, if you allow yourself to keep doing that, your brain will start offering you things that you can actually use for the literature review. And don't worry about, oh, it's going to take me so long to edit. Editing takes long anyway. So let's not think about that. We're not at that step yet. Just focus on open up a document. Don't even read anything. Don't look at any old documents. Open up a new document. Start writing about your literature review. Set a timer, and at the end of that timer, then you can go back and edit. And I promise if you follow this, you will be shocked how much you already know and how many pages you have to show for that time period. People who do this, like clients who do this, who actually humor me and do this process, come back with a whole chapter and like, I didn't even know. I'm like, I know. Because writing, y'all, is not about writing. Writing, the reason why it's so difficult is because you haven't sat down long enough to deal with all of the emotions and shit that you've been dealing with throughout your week or your year. And so when you sit down to write, your brain is like, oh, finally, we have a quiet time. Let me tell you all the ways that you suck today, all the things you still need to do. You need to go clean up that laundry. Like, it is just trying to get your attention because you sat down. But when you take all of that and you just put it out on the page, not only do you empty that part out, but you allow your brain room and capacity to tell you what it already knows about your topic. And you can absolutely write a literature review in 30 days. You can write it like, what did Paula say? She wrote hers in a week. That's with reading and everything. What I'm asking you to do is just sit down for like 2 hours, set a timer, and just brain dump, because you will be shocked. So let me know what ends up happening. I hope you give me an update. Okay, y'all. I don't see any questions. I know it's going to be hard, but what I have to do, legit, I just have to put on headphones and I have to play some music. And when I open up the document and write, because I do this for the emails that I send on the email list. Like, I don't think people realize, like, I'm regularly writing 50 to 100 pages a month in just emails to send out to different lists. And I have to do the same thing I'm telling y'all. I put on my headphones, I open up a document, and I just write. Because you have no idea how much you know. And I find that when you start off writing and you get your ideas clear, then you know exactly what literature to go look for because you've already created your own argument. A literature review is the argument that you have for your study. I told them I needed 3 months and they laughed. Yes, because you don't need 3 months. You don't need 3 months. Seriously. Think about this. Like, how long have you been reading about this topic? How long have you been thinking about this topic? How many conversations have you had? You just said that you presented at a conference. You know so much. So much. And I'm asking you to prove it to yourself. This is not meant to be pressure. Like, no one has to see this shitty draft. That's the beauty of writing a shitty draft. No one has to see it. You're the only one who has to see it. So allow yourself to just freely write on the page and see what comes out. Hello. Okay, y'all. I'm gonna go eat lunch. No, I'm not. I'm not gonna even lie. This is gonna be my lunch. I'm probably gonna go live on my other Instagram account. If you're interested, it's at Marvette Lacy. But thank y'all for this. This was a cool conversation. And for real, Julian, let me know how it goes. Please humor me and open up a document and do that. And I'll be looking for your message. Okay, everyone, enjoy the rest of your Thursday, and I'll see y'all later. Bye, y'all.